Uncle Stewie, what's going on? Happy Monday to you, sir. Happy Monday to you, sir. Hope you're having a good Monday. Get this shared out quick. And we'll get in. Not much, man. just doing my daily stream. Going to discuss what In Depth with Defness is going to be all about, actually. Cool new thing. Where we're going to take the channel. Some things. There's not going to be like huge changes or anything. It's still going to be the same thing, but we're going to be incorporating, adding some things within the same topics. Probably once a week or twice a week. I haven't decided yet. T-Dog, Dent, Mr. Friday the 13th. What's going on? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining tonight. Happy Monday to you all. I hope you guys all had a good, positive, successful Monday. It's always, that start of the week's always a tough thing, right? As we get through it. It seems like once we get through Monday, at least for me, Monday is my heaviest workload day with the company I run. And it seems like after Monday, it's still steady, but it seems to just kind of move along. You know, it's that getting up on Monday morning, the dread of the Monday morning, pushing through that Monday morning, getting to the afternoon, and then when Monday's over, it's kind of like a, whoof. We made it. We made it through Monday. The rest of the week's going to be a breeze. What's up, Buckeye Cards? Yeah, the case of the Mondays, right? Austin, what's going on, brother? Scotty, I'm going to just say what's up to you guys. And we will definitely get into what this stream's all going to be about specifically tonight. About where this channel is kind of going to. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys do know kind of in a basis of what what I'm looking to do, what I'm looking forward to do. And some of you who really know me really well actually already probably know where I was going to be taking this channel anyway. It still is going to be the same topic. It's or topics. It's still going to be the hobby. It's still going to be sports. It's still going to be all that related. It's still going to have the same kind of content, but we're going to get a little more in depth on what exactly it all is going to be. What's up, Joel F? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday feels like a Monday to me now. Well, that's not any good. Tuesdays and Thursdays are where it's at for Austin. That's not any good. Scotty, my man, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to give it another minute or so, and then we're going to just dive right into the stream today. So you guys are seeing this In Depth with Defness. That was the thumbnail for today. This thumbnail will be probably used quite often moving forward. I still have a couple things I need to get finished before we'll actually start taking the steps and actually, I guess you could call, activating In Depth with Defness. But I'm just going to get into it. I'm just going to start out. So, some of my closer hobby friends, some of my closer friends kind of knew, like, last year when I started really paying attention to this channel and I started to push it. Remember, I was around 300 and some subscribers, supporters, and we took a huge push, right? I was consistent every day. I was streaming every day. We were doing the daily walk vlogs, etc., etc. And I've always had this vision. I've always had this idea that I've wanted to always more or less kind of host and interview people. Use it as a podcast, if you will, what have you. So what I was thinking is when I start this thing off, probably be like once a week. I'll still have all my other streams, but then that one day a week, whatever day I decide it's going to be, when it works for whoever's going to be the guest or guests, it'll be dedicated to that. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be a podcast dedicated to the hobby, dedicated to sports, We may even dedicate it to addiction in general, right? So, depending upon who, as we continue to go forward with this channel, who we have on as guests, who would like to be a part of it, and maybe some of you guys will want to be involved or be not just as far as interacting and being part of the community, but maybe some of you guys will want to be involved and be interviewed and be on one day. So what it's going to do is, it's basically as it is, it's called In Depth with Defness. It's going to be like a video podcast. I'm going to have my boy Lance. I already sent him info to start working whenever he can on it. But we're going to have a template or like a backdrop where it's going to have, like you see my camera face now, but we'll have like two camera deals. And I'll have some kind of design in the background, whatever, but it'll be bigger. And basically what it'll do is we will link up and video in, like a video conference, if you will, whoever the guest or guests are going to be for that day or for that interview. So I already have quite a few people on Twitter. I made a tweet today about it. I already have quite a few people that have reached out that said they would definitely be interested. Buck City Breaks, obviously Rip and Gypsy, Midwest Box Breaks, Back in the Game Collecting, Raccoon Alliance Breaks. There's some other guys I can't think on the top of my head, but they all responded. And it's not only going to be just to interview breakers and get a little more in depth with them about what they're about, what their vision is, what drew them to where they're at, what brought them to that point, but it's also going to be a place where you don't just have to be a breaker. You can be part of the hobby. Yes, so like Dent. He could be a perfect guest, right? He does a lot of racks. He has his own little rack thing. I'm very, very aware of it. I'm very familiar with it. I've seen it on Twitter a lot for a long time since he's come in the Twitter side of the hobby. So I would have him on as a guest, right? Other guys in the stream right now could possibly be a guest. You don't have to be just a breaker. You can be part of the hobby. You can be more on the sports side. You could possibly even be somebody who's big into like DFS, which I love as well. We're going to take all sorts of different angles within what my content consists of, and we're going to get different people involved, and we're going to get a little more in depth with them. We're going to get to know them a little bit better, right? And we'll kind of cover some of the stuff that we're going to discuss or talk about before we actually go live. Like when we make the connection of, hey, the when, where's, the why's, the what's, right? We'll kind of cover all that stuff. I'm not going to put somebody on a spot or put somebody in a situation or ask them something too personal it's going to not make them feel comfortable, right? But the point of this whole thing is going to be a lot of these breakers, a lot of these hobbyists, a lot of these sports people, DFS, whoever it is, right? A lot of these people we may know kind of at face value. We may know just kind of who they are or what they're about. But this is going to be more about, like, more in depth on why. So, like, with Buck City Breaks, right? We kind of know where they're from. We kind of know, like, we know a little history. But I want to take it a little farther, a little further, right? I want you guys to get to know Chris and Adam more on a personal level than just as a company or a breaker. I feel it's going to help the hobby, the sports, the cardboard community. It's going to help everybody in general maybe feel a little more comfortable, maybe be able to gain a little more trust with these individuals. 1 second. Go lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Go. It's like she knows I'm live, so she's trying to get my attention, the dog. But we're gonna be able to get more in depth. We're gonna get to know these people a little bit better. And it's also going to be a great platform for everybody involved. For anybody that is part of it. Gain more exposure, right? It'll help me as well. Not only with just my own personal, being able to host and interview people, asking certain questions, getting kind of the people some of the information that they may be looking for that they may not always have the opportunity to ask, right? And who knows who or where we'll get as we move forward. Where are we going? Yeah, well, that's where we're going. We're going, you might have missed it, but we're going to start doing more video guest podcasting within the hobby with breakers, hobbyists like yourself, more sports nuts. I mean, who knows? Who knows who we'll get as we move on? I already have a list of people that want to do it. I put it out on Twitter today. I think I have like 10 or 12 people already, like Buck City Breaks, Midwest Box Breaks, BITG Breaks. Looks like Dent wants to be involved in this. And any of you guys could be. Any of you guys could be guests. And you may have seen people do it with like StreamYard, where they get a panel and they bring people on and they're just kind of, everybody's talking over each other. But this is going to be a little more organized. This is going to be, like I said, I'm going to have a nice professional backdrop where it'll call the person in, video conference. So we'll have the two screens where you'll be actually seeing the other individual as well as myself. We'll have some background type stuff, and then we'll kind of get into it. And we'll get more in depth on who they are, kind of the what's, the where's, the why's. How did it start? How did it become? How did Buck City Breaks become Buck City Breaks? Get into maybe their past. And I know Chris and Adam pretty well. I know the history. I've heard a lot of things. I've had conversations. I used to text them daily. We used to text DFS lineups back and forth a year and a half, 2 years ago. I mean, I know them very well. But a lot of you guys don't. You guys may feel like you know them, and maybe you do. I don't know each and every one of you as far as how much you know somebody else. But this is going to give you guys, it's going to be like a show, man. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. And you guys as viewers, when you're in the stream, when you're watching it live, you'll also have the ability to where we can go to questions. Okay? So you guys, as you're in the stream, I can have a Q&A section or whatever where as we're going through the stream, I can be looking at the stream and seeing what questions are brought up. And if it's something that's not already on my list to be asked, and I think it's a decent question, I'll add it to be asked if we have time. So, I tend to fill out all the loop, but I'm here. Field guy, so basically what I'm gonna start doing. Put it this way. I'll put it this way for you, field guy. So let's just say you were gonna be. I'll kind of put it in this term. Let's just say you were the one that was gonna be the guest with me this specific day or night, right? So we're gonna have this in depth with Defness, and it would be titled in my title like in depth with Defness, featuring Field Guy, right? Field Guy 316. And basically what I'd be doing with you is I would send you a link. You would come on my screen. I'm going to have a nice backdrop built where it'll have a view, my cam view, and then you would have a cam view of your own. And when you sign in or you connect with me, your face or a picture and all that would show up of you on your side, right? And what I would then do is I would obviously introduce you to everybody in the stream, and then it would be like a Q&A or an interview. I would ask you, Field Guy, when did you start collecting sports cards? What brought you to sport cards? Is there any memories you have or childhood memories? Like, is there a specific time, moment, place that led you to get into sports cards? Did you have family? Was your father somebody that was around you when you were younger? Were they ones to, who bought you your first pack of cards? Asking things like that. And it'll be with people like you. And it'll also be with breakers. Like Buck City Breaks, like Midwest Box Breaks. Any breaker out there. I don't care if it's someone that I've ever braked with or not. It doesn't have to be me. I don't, or people I've broke with. It could be any breakers out there. In fact, when I put it out, I had a lot of people responding to my tweet that didn't even follow me, and I didn't even follow them yet, that said, yeah, I'd be interested. I'd totally be down to do this. It'll give everybody an opportunity to get to know these people a little better. To, if you haven't seen their face, and a lot of these breakers, now Buck City Breaks, they have face cams and all that. You know what they look like. Some breakers, when they do their breaks, they just have the cameras on their hands and etc. They don't show their face. You don't know. This way, you're going to get a closer look at the individual or the individuals. You're going to get to see them a little bit closer. And you're going to actually get to hear a little more in depth about them. What did Field Guide say? Sending them to me. I am finally taking the time to organize all my cards. So that's awesome, baseball card collector. Shout out to you for getting all those things organized. So, what's up, Big 10 119? Meg is in the house. Grant's here. Waxman, Wax On. I see a Wax On in the building. Spidey was already here. Who else we got joining us? Isaac's in the house. I want to try to not miss anybody. Sam B, T-Dog, Gorilla Family. Good to see all you guys here, man. So that's kind of where my take is and where I want to go with this. Now, again, this won't just be the only thing that I'm doing on this channel going forward. I will still be doing my normal streams. It's just that if I do these once a week or twice a week, what have you, whatever day we decide it's going to be, then that stream will just be this, featuring, interviewing whoever. Interviewing Dent. All right? And then I won't have another stream that day. That will be the stream for the day. And, maybe we'll start with once a week. Maybe as we get going and maybe we get a lot more people that want to be involved in it, that want to be a part of it, that want to be on the stream. Maybe we'll start doing like a couple days a week. This is ultimately, guys, though, where I've always wanted to take this channel. I've really wanted to turn it into a more podcasty, if you will, interview, get people out in front, get more exposure to them type channel, right? I did the thing back before when we were running consistently. We grow together, yada, 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 trying to network, trying to network for everyone else and get everybody else more exposure. This is taking this to a different angle. What's up, 959? But this is actually, I think you guys will enjoy it. I honestly think the majority of you guys, once you kind of see it at hand, and I think the first one I'm going to do is going to be Buck City Breaks, Chris and Adam, when I get everything set up for it in the next week or couple weeks. When I do it and when you guys see it, I think you guys are going to be on it. I think you guys are going to like it. And I think you guys might even if you're not a breaker, you don't sell breaks or sport card breaks, you might even want to take a shot at doing it at some point and being on the show or being interviewed, being on my podcast type thing. I think it's going to be a good thing, and I think it's really going to be a huge thing for networking. I mean, yeah, especially breakers too, man. I mean, you're going to get guys, even smaller breakers that maybe are just starting out or just growing, trying to get people there. You're going to have them up in front. I'm going to be able to ask them specific questions, and I'm going to be able to ask them questions that you guys want answered, and we get to know these people a little bit better. If I had a GoPro, I'd make real fishing videos. Waxman would make fishing videos. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. So, I want a little feedback from you guys. What do you guys think of my vision of where I'm looking to take this thing? What do you guys think? Sending them helps a lot. This is where I need you guys' feedback. Uncle Stewie says, sounds cool. I mean, do you guys think it's worth? You guys think it's worth doing? South of the border cards. I mean, I know there's other hobby, say, podcasts out there and things of that nature, but I'm gonna try to make it a little more unique as I try to doing a lot of the stuff I do. I'm gonna like I said, and that's kind of hence the whole in-depth type thing, is because I want to kind of break the ice a little bit more. And again, I don't want to ask questions, personal questions that are going to, I don't want to insult anybody. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable when they're on the stream. But I definitely want you guys, and I personally as well, want to get to know some of these people, some of you guys in general, a little better. And I think, what a better way than do that, because let's be honest. Some of you guys are great, and some of you guys live stream, and some of you guys, you know, in chat, in the chats, in all the different live streams, you guys get to know people a little bit better, and you guys bring up and talk a little bit more about what you got going on in your life. But I think if I or someone else, me, whoever, can get some of you guys and some people in these things and get you guys to open up a little bit more, but not too uncomfortable or not uncomfortable, I think it's not only going to help you, but I think it's going to help everybody else in the community understand you a little bit better. And then they can actually put the name to the face, right? They've seen you on the stream. They've actually seen you, like, seen a facial visual of you. They know more who they're interacting with, who they're talking with. So Dent says, I would support it. Certainly worth it, bro. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I think it's going to be awesome, Defness. I think you should do it. It's going to help the community. I appreciate that, brother. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Great opportunity for self-promotion, etc. for breakers. You'd be doing them a service. Yeah, and again, at the end of the day, like, that's kind of how I've always been. I've always been a networker, right? I don't know if some of you guys haven't followed me on Twitter as much. And to be honest with you, I restarted Twitter. So I got rid of my Twitter over a year ago. I think this last February, or February this month, I restarted my Twitter last February. So I've had my Twitter for literally a year. But before I did, I had my first Twitter, which I think I had around 4,000 or 5,000 followers, whatever. But at that time, I was doing a lot of giveaways, trying to promote breakers like Buck City Breaks. Like, if you go back to when Buck City Breaks first started, I was doing hobby box giveaways for them. You know, retweet this, follow me and follow them. We're going to randomly give somebody a hobby box away, this Friday during the breaks, what have you. I just got fed up because I had a lot of people. I got too many prize hounds, I guess, were following in that Twitter, and I started getting a little fed up with it. So I was gonna actually leave Twitter as a whole, and then I realized that to be part of this hobby community, I've personally always felt like Twitter is the best, one of the social media platforms for that. I decided that I had to start a Twitter again, and that's why I did that last February. So what's up, Reds fan? Good to see you, brother. I'm always chasing a big ass bass. You guys talking fishing. It's all good. Like to see it. When Defness, the card dreamer, and I got together at the restaurant, when we could meet up. Yeah, man. Exactly, Wax, man. Like, and that's the thing. And it's cool, like, if we all go to the National, or most of us can make it to the National, or we can make it somewhere when we're traveling and meet up with some people. Like, I got the opportunity to meet up with Waxman and the Card Dreamer in Florida. But a lot of you guys don't have that chance. So this kind of gives another opportunity to, it almost feels like a meetup, even though we're not physically present. So let's say I bring Sports Car Collector 959 on. He says, hey man, I want you to guest me sometime. and we say, okay, man, next Thursday we're gonna guest you, and it'd be almost like we're there, and almost like you guys are there as well, but you're not, right? You're presently watching, but you're not physically in the same location. But it'll be more like that. It'll almost be like I'm sitting with him, talking or interviewing, as we have the two cams and the face cams. Yeah, going to the national is definitely, if you guys haven't made it to a national, definitely going to a national is something you guys should definitely put on your bucket list. You know, if you continue to stay a part of the hobby, and you're going to be involved in the hobby for years to come, because you're going to meet so many people that you know, like through interactions on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media platforms you're on. You're going to meet so many of those people face to face. So, what's up, the hobbyist? Good to see you, man. So, yeah, I would definitely make sure. I had Twitter for a year in high school. Never as an adult, too much to deal with, you know. And I've never went back to Facebook. I had Facebook, like, you know, years ago when I was married, when I went through my divorce. And I personally, with my own experiences, I just tend to, I have a new name for Facebook. I call it Fakebook. Because I feel like, I don't know, Twitter's kind of taken that angle as well, but it seemed like Facebook was just, you would always see everybody posting, it's either they were super negative or they were super positive, but whenever you would see it, you would see all these happy-go-lucky pictures, and some people, that's all they'd ever post. And maybe that's how their life really is. Maybe they don't have any bad times, any arguments, any non-happy people in their family, but the reality is most of us have those days where we're, you know, we get in a fight with whoever at our house, or, you know, arguments, we're not happy, people aren't happy, and it would be like people are always putting this show on, like, oh, I have the perfect life, you know. So I don't know, that's why I tended to stay away from Facebook as I got older. But I guess Twitter can be that way now as well. Twitter's kind of, they've changed a lot of things as they've expanded the amount of characters you can tweet. You used to only be able to tweet, I don't even remember how many. It was a pretty small number of characters, but now, you know, you can do, what, 280, up to 280 characters, so you can write quite a bit in that time. My only platform is YouTube. And Waxman, there's nothing wrong with that, brother. That's actually not a bad thing, because it's good and bad. The downside is it's harder for you to connect to more people within the community of the hobby in general, because there's a lot of them on Twitter, there's a lot of them on Facebook, there's a lot of them on Instagram. But at the same time, you're not getting caught up in any kind of drama or any BS either. You can still get caught up in YouTube drama, I get it. But at least you don't have both angles coming at you as far as all the drama goes. It was like 140. Twitter is too left and political. Well, and that's the thing. I don't get into politics. Dragon fan Tim. You will never see me tweet anything political, retweet anything political. I don't talk politics in here. I mean, I bring it up because I read it, but I won't get into it with anybody. My personal opinion is that at the end of the day, I think they all just tell you what you want to hear. People will say, oh, so-and-so's a liar. Well, the other parties are just as much liars. I mean, no matter what side you're on, right? So, what's up, DD? Durango. So, this will be a cool thing for someone like Durango as well as Scotty, as well as everybody in here. So what we were talking about, Durango, is, what's up, Stevens Cards? What I'm going to start doing, probably at least once a week, I'm going to get a, like, you know how this backdrop is, where you got my face cam, and then I got the web stuff there, and whatever, what the background. I'm gonna have a backdrop made by Lance that has two video face cam things or whatever, so you can have two different videos in, and I will basically do an in-depth with Defness like once a week. So I'll bring somebody on. So for an example, Durango, you're like, yeah, dude, Defness, I want to do that. We set up a time we're going to do it. I stream it. I send you a link. You click in. You're on my stream. And we get more in depth. So I ask you we get a background from you. You know, when did you really start in the hobby? Did you ever take a break? Who bought you your first pack of cards? What's the greatest card you ever pulled? Why do you do what you do now? Why are you breaking? What does it do for you? Like answering or asking and getting answers for everybody in the community to learn more about you. So to do it with breakers, to do it with just hobbyists, to do it with sports nuts, whatever. I appreciate it, Durango. So yeah, we were just kind of talking more about that, going in depth, and I'm gonna probably plan to kick it off in a week or two here. I gotta get Lance to make me a nice backdrop, and then we gotta get the cam set up and figure out how it's gonna work, because we'll probably have to encode the link in the other camera spot for whoever's gonna be the guest, and then I would text them or send it to them via email, and then they would click in and basically Skype or call in, however that would work, and then there'd be the video. So Durango, I was missing your non-stream videos. Yeah, good to see you, DD. So it's a two. You should try mixing it back in. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the take, guys. I mean that's kind of really what I had for tonight. We've run about a half hour. I appreciate the feedback. Like I said, I posted it on Twitter earlier today, and like I said earlier, guys, this is ultimately where I've wanted to take this channel. And again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to sound like a broken record. We're still going to have my daily streams. It's just whatever day or days we do these with individuals live, that will be the stream for the day. So that'll be the stream. J&W, what's going on, brother? Tim Lehman, what's good, guys? We're just about getting wrapped up. Dang, I always miss. It's all right, Jim. Basically, I'll explain it one more time, and then we'll get out of here, because a couple new people popping in. What's up, Carrie? So I posted on Twitter earlier today. This has basically been my vision for this channel. It's going to be called In Depth with Defness. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a new backdrop created by Lance for when I do these streams. But I'm going to get people like Buck City Breaks, Midwest Bog Breaks, any breakers out there, whether I broke with them or not, Top Shelf Breaks, J&W, Dave Durango, whoever wants to come on and be a part of this series or show. I'm going to basically do a video podcast where once a week or once every couple weeks, I'll have somebody on. So we'll have a cam with my cam, and then there'll be another boxing area for their cam. So their cam will jive in. So it'll be like we're actually in the same location, but we're not. And then I'm going to interview them. We're going to get more in depth with them. Find out, if it's the hobby they're into. What got them into the hobby? Who bought their first pack of cards? Was it a parent that got them into it? What's the coolest card that they pulled? What's their best or their most memorable time, related to the hobby? If they're a breaker, why do they break? What got them into breaking? Just a little get to know more within the people. Make sure I book the church lady from SNL. Nice. But yeah, I got great feedback this morning. It's been a vision and idea of mine for a while. And again, like I said before, I'm not creating something really that new. There's podcasts out there. There's hobby podcasts, sports podcasts, etc. But this is going to be the Defness style of that. This is going to be in depth with Defness. So I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be fun. I think, again, it's going to be great exposure for everybody, for my channel, for everybody that comes on that's involved. It's going to give you guys, again, opportunity. I think it's going to bring in new people in the community, but it's going to give you guys opportunity as well to get to know people a little bit better, to get to know some of these breakers a little bit better, to see, put a name to a face, to actually physically see. Because, like I said earlier, some of these breakers, Chris and Adam, BCB, and Ben and all them, they show face cams, but some breakers don't ever show face, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it'd be nice to put a name to a face, right? And know exactly, who they are. Kind of, not that looks matter, right? But at the end of the day, it's nice to be able to put a name to a face. I mean, I think we can all agree to that. So, I like being headless. Durango says, well, Durango, you can be present, not showing your head. You can show your knees and your guitar and your arms, your muscles. How about that? Yankees are cheated out of the World Series again. Gonna be a great season for the Yankees. I'm gonna be headless. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I pretty much covered what I need to cover for where this is going. Again, I appreciate all the feedback from all you guys. I really, honestly do. And that race finished. They got 15 to go on the Daytona 500. The All-Star game last night was interesting. Kawhi surprisingly getting the MVP. That was cool, though. So, hope you guys all have a great night. On a serious note, I'm looking forward to a Subway Series. Right on. All right, guys. Hey, we got through Monday. We can get through the rest of this week. I love y'all. Have a good night, guys. Peace and love. Be good.